So I've wrestled my daughter into this video. She just happened to walk in the room right when I was about to do a video about support people for those of us who suffer with hepatitis C or that did. And this was my number one support. It's not because she was hired to be my support or wanted to be necessarily. She just got kind of stuck with the job of doing it, and she did great. And, you know, I felt so much guilt and shame for having to give her so much responsibility. It was whenever my baby was about 8 weeks old. And yet now I've heard her say that, and we got someone else coming in, Kyle. So when this one was 8 weeks old, I got really sick and had to go into the hospital for a month and then into bed for a year. And Kelsey took over. And it's like whenever I came out of my haze and my fog and my sickness, she had completely rearranged my kitchen and my furniture. But she just took over and took care of this one along with my husband. And so I'm extremely blessed to have this girl. She's painting the basement with her beloved right now. And so this is why she's got on her painting attire. Thank you for saying hey, Kelsey. I appreciate it. I can't believe she even did that. Usually she's really particular about...
Very hormonal, so...
Yeah, she's very hormonal and particular about her appearance. And this is my Kyle. And I needed a lot of support whenever I was the sickest with hepatitis C because you were just 8 weeks old. And he knows this story just from me telling you, right?
Yep.
So when he was 8 weeks old, I went in, I had hepatitis C and I had yet to be, and that's Archie. We got the whole family here. That's another great support idea is animals. You gonna go?
Yep.
Love y'all. So, really, Kelsey took over. I got really sick. I was in the hospital for a month and then in bed for a year. Kelsey was a tremendous help. My husband has never wavered, not one time. In fact, for a couple years, he's the only one that even knew that I had hepatitis C. I didn't confide in my church or my family or anyone because of the shame and stigma. And I wasn't kidding about the dogs. I mean, dogs are really a great source of comfort and support for people that are sick with chronic illnesses. They love us and they don't care how much we complain and moan and groan and whine. And I know that's one of the big problems that I still face to this day with some of the residual effects of hepatitis C. You know, I'm still tired. I still have issues. And I know that, you know, even my husband gets burnout on my neediness, or he's never expressed that, but I feel that even if it's not true. And so our dogs don't do that. So they're a blessing for sure. And I remember one time, whenever we were trained to test people, we always were trained to ask, so do you have someone to go home to if they were positive, you know, support and make sure that they were going home to a supportive, kind of safe environment, because that's some heavy news to receive. And I remember one gentleman who shared that, I mean, right away without missing a beat, he said, yeah, my dog. And you know, it was kind of pitiful that he didn't have a human really to go home with and to comfort him. But I also felt relieved that he did have that animal that was so close to him. The very first thing that came to his mind was his animal. And so I'm blessed to have wonderful support in my family. Not much other support, not church or extended family, but my immediate family is enough because they more than really make up for just a whole community of people. In particular, my husband. He started a whole foundation on my behalf whenever I got really sick. So he is amazing. And I'm glad you got to meet my Kelsey and my Kyle because they have been such a blessing throughout this whole ordeal. I hope you have someone to lean on and someone that supports you and takes care of you. And if not, I tell you what, online forums are a great resource for that, to find people that are going through what you're going through, people that you can kind of complain and moan to that aren't going to judge you harshly, but understand that you need that outlet to be able to vent. And so I think that's a great use of the internet. And even, you know, Health Union, the blog that I'm talking about and talking for right now has been a really great resource for a lot of people.